Woo! Hey, hey. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Ali Madawi in here, your host with the avocado toast. And oh my goodness, we got an outside edition of the Yup Daily for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, reporting live from Bricktown, New Jersey, right here, an entrepreneur existed and spoke. And this never happened before. But here's the thing. We pivot because sometimes you got doctor appointment you got to attend to immediately after the Yup Daily, and I'm not the one to miss anything. Well, I am excited because today you are in luck of having two amazing individuals who happen to have the most impact on the business community. This is Yup Daily. Let us know where you're chiming in from, what city, state, country, continent you are in from. Let me know that you're having an amazing, amazing, amazing Tuesday. That's right. I see you, Sweden. How you doing, Stina? I see you, Montana. What's going on, Susan? I see you, Alicia from Alabama. Sweet home Alabama, baby. What's going on, Buffet? I see you. I see you, man. I hope you are as excited as it is cold right here in New Jersey, because boy, I gotta be jumping. Let me tell you, today on this Yup Daily, we are going to cover for you why is now the best time to go in business. And I have with me two incredible individuals. On the left corner, he is a 10-time black belt champion. He is a Hall of Famer speaker. He is a co-author of 6 best-selling books. He is one of the most sought-after speaker globally, and we are blessed to have him here with us at the Young Entrepreneur Project. The one, the only, Dr. Stan Harris, a.k.a. Dr. Breakthrough. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise. All right, all right, all right. On the left corner, he has disrupted the business community, the travel community, the financial services, over 2.5 decades in business. And he is the world-renowned speaker, trainer, CEO, one and only, Jimmy Ezel. All right, gentlemen, I hope you are as excited as I am.
I feel like we're getting ready to get into a fight, and I am not fighting Dr. Stan. He's a 10th black belt, so I'm out.
Bro, we don't fight against each other. We fight with each other against the. Oh, come on, somebody.
Let's go. Let's go. Gentlemen, I know the clock is ticking, and we have about 27 minutes, so let's get right into it. And I'm going to start with you, Dr. Breakthrough. Why don't you tell the world why is now the best time to start a business?
Well, first of all, because right now there's so many people that are hurting. And so right now, the purpose of a business, by the way, is to solve a problem, to provide a solution. And by the way, you also yourself get blessed because of the income. You know, one of my greatest mentors, William E. Bailey, had a company grossing $64 million a month way back in the 70s. And I said to him, no email, no fax machine, Mr. Bailey, what? I mean, I don't understand that. How in the world do you make $64 million a month? He said, you're asking the wrong question. I said, okay, I apologize. What's the right question? He said, you should have asked me how many people's lives did I add value to that resulted in $64 million a month. He said, you see, if you master bringing value to the marketplace, you can receive much value back from the marketplace. And he said, what did the great master do? I said, well, Book of Acts said he went about doing good And so he said, exactly. So everybody you meet, you add value to. Well, the best way to add value is through a business, and to do it now when people are hurting, people are looking for something else to do, my friend. And the business, my friend, to do it now, you can now start gaining momentum better than ever before. So the question simply is, when would now be a good time for you to start receiving value for the value you're going to give through a business?
I love it. And that's such a great segue. Mr. Ezell, I'm privileged that I get to see you do what you do every single day and ride the entrepreneurial journey with you for specifically the last going on year and a half right now. And you've pivoted in the middle of the year of 2020 with a lot of things that were going on, crazy pandemic, political issues, social injustice, and you focus on impact. You said we have to protect, and I quote, you have to protect our community and make sure that they are set up to succeed. Can you tell us why now, more than ever before, it is the time to double down on that?
Yeah, for all of our friends that are watching this, I remember in March, like really thinking through what's happening with this whole pandemic. I mean, we thought it was kind of funny at first, and then got real serious, and many of you are watching this, whether you're like me, that you're in a job and you're like trying to break through and get out of it, and eventually become an entrepreneur, or you're an entrepreneur right now, or maybe you just want something mindset. I want to give you something to be thinking about how we navigated through this year. See, I always tell people, like, when you're an entrepreneur, you're the CEO of your own business. Now, listen, it doesn't matter whether you went all in and you invested, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in your business, or you're doing an affiliate program, or any type of business, you're still the CEO. And there's three types of CEOs that I watched this year. Okay? There was the fear-focused CEO. COVID came, the pandemic, the global crisis, unemployment, the politics, all that stuff. Fear-focused CEOs, okay, had no idea what they were doing. They were afraid to make decisions, and what ended up happening to many of them is a lot of them went under. They failed. Then you have the unfocused CEOs, and those are the ones that really had no game plan. They were just going, letting the world dictate to them how to run their businesses. And then you had the strategy-based CEOs, and that was us. That was our leadership team. That was our tribe of people. That was all the entrepreneurs that work with us each day, day in, day out, week in, week out. And we said, guys, we got to have some real strategies to navigate through this COVID. And see, what the crisis did is it brought out the real leaders, not the ones that were unfocused, not the ones that were fear-focused, but the ones that were strategy-focused. And so, Ali, that's what we ended up doing. As you know, you were part of that journey. Navigate through it, and as like they say, the rest is the history of us going and taking our company public. And so, I just want to encourage all of you to be thinking about that, even as times are still. I just got a message from one of our presidents of one of our companies, and so many people are going into this month with financial crisis. The rent is late. The rent numbers are crazy. The mortgage numbers are crazy, and so because unemployment is still high, and a lot of people are behind. They maybe have a job, but they're behind. And so going into this season, folks, this is why it makes sense to have a side hustle, a side gig. It used to not be so cool. It's cool now, right? Because now we're all like, whoa, I need a side hustle. I need something else just in case. Mama Bear Sprint can't pay my bills, right? Yeah. And so that's why it's so important. And you need to find those ways to do that.
Such a good point and a great segue, if I may say. Dr. Breakthrough, when I met you, I was on a business tour, and we crossed stages, and you definitely spoke all over the world. And what you and I have done before even introducing ourselves to the Young Entrepreneur Project and this community is speaking on stages, being in front of people all the time. COVID has hit, and it kind of put a little bit of a dent on that journey of physically attending events and doing different things. So my question to you is, based on this year, 2020, and COVID making a big pivot for all of us. What are some of the things that you have learned from COVID's experience this year that you see that must be either got to be aware of or implemented in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, as an evangelist, I was traveling, speaking and preaching to churches every weekend. Well, all those got canceled. And then as a business, strategist, the world's first breakthrough speaker, right? All my speaking engagements were canceled. As a matter of fact, when COVID hit, I lost 4 income streams. And as a matter of fact, I did a challenge, Jimmy, you'll love this. I did a 5-day breakthrough comeback challenge, teaching people how to make a comeback, right? And so we reestablished 6 income streams, and now I got another one, obviously with the up. But anyway, but what I'm saying is this, what I had to learn and teach people is that a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you refuse to turn. Oh, come on, somebody. Let me say that again. I said a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you refuse to turn. And so in times of change like this, here's what Scott Hoffer said is one of the most powerful quotes I ever heard in my life. And by the way, note takers are money makers, and the weakest ink is stronger than the strongest memory. Somebody might want to write this down. He said, learners shall inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to live in the world that no longer exists. And that's exactly what's happening, right? I mean, the doctor's degrees that I have, whatever, didn't equip me for what's going on now, right? It's like no, but the doctor breakthrough degree, come on, somebody, where we're going to break through the change. And let me just say this real quick. In times of change like this, now some people build walls out of fear to protect themselves. But there's others like Jimmy, myself, Mr. Zell, and these others, and those who are part of the YEP community, that we build windmills to profit ourselves. Now, wait a minute, folks. You got a choice. You're going to build that wall, the so-called protect yourself, that actually blocks you in. Are you going to take the same wind of change and build a windmill and actually profit from that? So again, that's where we talk about that shift, that bend, that reinventing yourself. That, I mean, if the wind's going to blow, why not reset your sails, right? That's what Jim Rohn, when I used to travel and speak with him, he would talk about quite often. And so this is a great time again, but again, it goes back to attitude and mindset. And that's why I teach so much on that. But folks, I'm telling you, you can not just come out of this. You come out bigger, better, stronger than ever before. Just like all of us, we can look back in our lives as quote unquote bad things that happened. And now we can see how that bad thing that happened with the right attitude, it fits in to make something better. So sometimes things fall apart so bigger things can fall together.
I love it. I mean, I hope you took notes on that one. And if you have not, you better watch the replay on this and take notes again. For real, for real. Mr. Zell, let me segue to you. I've witnessed the changes that COVID had. I mean, you were on a 20 or 25 city tour at the time. In the middle of the road, you ended up cutting it short and saying, hey, we're coming back home because everything is shutting down. And we didn't want to risk people health knowing what we didn't know or not knowing what we needed to know. So what are some of the biggest lessons that you've had from COVID and business moving forward?
Yeah, Ali and Dr. Stan, I think the biggest thing for me this year, as I reflect back, as I start to do my reflection for the year, I think the word discipline stands out. And for some of you watching today, I want to just give you a little bit of hope. That discipline that some of you implemented this year, you're now seeing the payoff at the end of the year. The discipline of you saying, hey, you know what? I'm locked down, but I'm going to still stay fit and healthy has now paid off. I'm a witness to that myself. So the discipline of you saying, you know what? I'm going to protect my mind every single day is now paying off at the end of the year. The discipline of you saying, I'm going to protect my relationships and not get into, disagreements on social media is actually paying off for some of you now at the end of the year. And see, these disciplines are so important that some of you have realized even the discipline of saying, hey, I want a better life, let me work on me, is now paying off this at the end of this year. The discipline of you, some of you saying, you know what, I do need a plan B, a plan C. I do need a side hustle, side income, and I'm going to go find that, is now paying off at the end of the year. And as you roll into 2021, You don't let the world eat you up at the end of this year. We all know there's some still stuff going on. And the first of the year, for ones of us that are disciplined, okay, going into 2021, we'll start to set up my year, my 2021, Ollie and Dr. Stan will already be done in 2020. Let me say it again. My 2021 will already be done in 2020. Planning, the things that I know I need to do will all be done here this month. And so that's, I think, the biggest thing for me for discipline, guys, for looking at COVID, I said to myself, God willing, I said, man, you need to be disciplined. My faith, all my business activity, my relationships, it's that word that I just, as you said that, Ollie, that's what I think of as discipline.
Yeah, I love it. And it's spot on, and I think it translated on the whole community. One of the things that we take pride in the Young Entrepreneur Project is community, and we invest in one another. We invest on each other's, as far as mindset, as far as support, as far as keeping everybody, as we say, stay close to the heat. Which God knows, I wish there was heat behind me right now. But here's the thing. I got one more question, and I'll start with you, Dr. Stan. If you could think of 3 things that every entrepreneur watching right now must implement for a successful 2021, and I know you could give me 3 days worth, but 3 things, I know it's hard, but 3 things that you can sum up for those who are watching right now that you must have in order to have a successful 2021, what would they be?
Well, actually, they've already said it. One, community, right? You got to have a community of people that believe in what you're doing and will support you. I mean, because one of the most important things is, people have dreams and aspirations and goals, especially as an entrepreneur. It's like you are so outside the box, right? Entrepreneurs are always outside the box, right? And so people look at you like you're crazy. And if you don't have a community that's going to support you, as big as your dream is, and as sincere as your goals are, and it's like taking a coal, one piece of coal out of the fire and putting it off by itself. And that's what's happening to a lot of people right now. And even the COVID pandemic, even the COVID situation, my friend, has hurt a lot of people that way. And that's why now just to reshift and build community online and still have that time with each other. So community is going to be one thing. Consistency is going to be another thing, just consistently. And of course, Mr. Zell already alluded to with the discipline, because you got to use discipline to be consistent, but just consistently doing the thing you need to do. And as a matter of fact, that's one of the things I teach people. There's an M that's more important than making money. And if you go after making money, you may end up messing up. But if you go after creating this M will create more money than if you try to create money. And the M is called momentum. Okay. So people start a business and they want to try to make money. Well, guess what? You'll be tempted to do the wrong things if you're just after money. However, if you work on just creating momentum, and momentum is created by being consistent, right? Then when you create the momentum, guess what? You can't stop the money from coming. Right. And so that's why it's so important, even during this Christmas season, during these times, my friend, that people are consistently just doing the things. The greatest book ever written says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men." So the consistency. All right. And then also I want to say compassion. It's been said over and over again, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And especially during times right now, people are hurting, people are looking for answers. And when you can come to them and out of sincerity say, listen, I believe I have something that can, it may or may not be for you, but I believe I have something. And so when an entrepreneur has that kind of spirit, I believe those are 3 things, the keys that'll unlock the door to massive success. Because again, impact with integrity will increase income.
I don't know about you, but I mean, I've never seen someone who can impact an hour worth of training and simplify it in 3 points. That was fantastically put. Mr. Ezell, your top 3 things that you can recommend to our listeners.
Yeah, so I won't say the same ones as Stan, because he had some really phenomenal ones. I was going to use a couple of them, but here's what I would say. my three would be number one, goals. Guys, you got to set them, and you got to set them now. Like this is the time to start to reflect on the things that you did right, the things that went well, the things that you learned. Now, notice I didn't say the things that you did that you think in your mind were bad decisions. I'm talking about the things that you learned, right? Perspective. And so start to set goals for 2021 this month. By the end of this month, actually within the next few weeks, you should have your goals ready, right? You should be ready to go into 2021, not wait until 2021, the first week in January, to be doing your goals. That's number one. Number two is, I would say, make sure that you never forget that you've got to put the work in. As you have to put the work in. Listen, many of you will be motivated. You're inspired today. Dr. Breakthrough is speaking, for crying out loud. I'm inspired. But Jimmy Zell, when I hang up this Zoom, I've got a power list that I gotta go conquer. I got a power list that says to me, Jimmy Zell, you got to keep getting these W's every single day. That is how you win the long game. So you got to put in the work. And then the last one I think is really, you got to have these compounding habits, right? And that stems from some of that power list, but you've got to be focused on these habits just day in and day out. It's not a quantum leap to success. Guys, many of us are decade plus success stories, right? I mean, that's what it's about, is that it doesn't just happen overnight. If you're in the entrepreneurial game, you got to know you've got to pay the price. Every single one of us has to pay a success tax. There's always going to be a success tax. You have to pay it. There's no shortcut to making it. You just have to put the price. You have to pay the price. You have to put the work in. You got to be consistent, like what Doctor's saying. You gotta have those habits, and you got to be setting goals all the time, and then wrap it around a beautiful group of people, a community that will support you. And here's the thing: your chances of succeeding, okay, when you put all those things together, are much greater than you trying to be a solopreneur, living in a silo.
Yeah, go take it. Go ahead.
Listen, when you said that about success, let me just give this real quick. And that is, this is just so moved me. And that is, when you understand this concept, success can never be owned. It can only be rented. That's what Mr. Zell was saying. Success can never be owned. Get this now. It can only be rented. And here's the key. The rent is due every day. Oh, see, it was Muhammad Ali. I love this. He said he would work out early in the morning before the sun would come up. And he would say, I hated every moment of working out. But I said to myself, suffer today and live the rest of your life a champion. So I modified that. And so what I do, Mr. Zell, I go and I'm working out. And I'm like, okay, suffer now and live the rest of the day a champion. And then wake up tomorrow, do it all over again, and be a champion again for the next day. And folks, those are the keys. That's what it is. And by the way, Ali, I'm sure you're going to tell us about this, but we've got something coming up that's going to help to train the champions, help to take all this and wrap it up in one pretty bowl. Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's why they call you.
The champ is here. Hey, I relate to that. Suffer today and live the rest of the day like a champion. Like right now, that's what I told myself to get myself pumped up for this Yup Daily. My wife goes like, hey, don't you have the Yup Daily today? I'm like, of course, it's every day, baby. You already know, 11 o'clock. She's like, but you have the doctor's appointment at 11:30. I'm like, yeah. She goes like, but it's a half an hour from here. I'm like, of course. She's like, how you going to do it? I'm like, you just watch on Facebook.
Come on now.
So
you're committed.
Yes, sir. All the way in. So for those of you who are watching, you may be wondering, you've heard a couple of hints at it, community. And we're excited that we've put together, really, it's been a year and a half coming, but we have together a 5-day to freedom challenge, a 5-day Yup to Freedom challenge. Some of you may be watching from the group right now. We have thousands and thousands of case studies that have been done of the impact that it has created. And here's the thing. I got quick questions for you. If you could spend some quality time with Dr. Breakthrough and say, tell me everything that you know so I can create my own breakthroughs and my own success. Would that be worth your time? Okay, cool. If I would say, hey, how about spending 5 days with Jimmy Ezel, and every single day he's going to teach you some more, just so you know how he took a company from zero to publicly traded in 1 year. Would you like that? Okay,
Yes.
cool. Now, how about having 8 different individuals who have created multiple 6 and multiple 7 figures of revenue and success, being featured on television, being featured on magazines, being featured everywhere around the world, public speakers, trainers, incredible mentors to the masses. And here's the best part about it, because I know what you're wondering. How much this is going to cost me, Ali? It's complimentary. Notice I didn't say free. It's complimentary, because every one of these individuals, Dr. Breakthrough gets paid up to $46,000 for one speaking engagement.
47.
Sorry, I didn't mean to give him. I was trying to give him a discount, Dr.
Hey,
Breakthrough.
but they're going to get a discount on the challenge, though.
So here's the thing. You are going to have Dr. Breakthrough as a featured speaker for us, a highlight speaker, this upcoming challenge, and many other friends of ours, including myself, Mr. Ezel, and so many incredible individuals. We've impacted people across the world, and I mean in 6 continents. It's your time. You said, I wish God sends me an opportunity. You prayed about it.
Come on.
Here comes the door. You said, man, I just need one sign that 2020 is not a wrap. Here is your sign. You said, man, if somebody could just give me something, like hand me something. Can you give me a cheat sheet? I got 5 days worth of cheat sheets for you. Yes, there will be upgraded options for you, either $7 or $47. If you want to get VIP sessions, if you want to get add-on extra sessions with the VIPs. But the general session is 100% complimentary. And by the way, we have so many incredible giveaways every single day just for you doing your assignments. Every single day for doing your success work. Every single day there's iPad Airs. There is microphones at times. There is social media kits. There are financial incentives. So let me go to you, Dr. Breakthrough, and take a minute and a half and tell us why would anybody be part of this challenge?
Well, because one of the things, I'm going to give some powerful breakthrough principles. And just so you know, as a disclaimer, as Dr. Breakthrough, I can't provide the breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. However, when people follow the breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides the breakthrough they desire and deserve. And what's a breakthrough? It's exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. Wouldn't you like to finish this year strong? Wouldn't you like to turn, listen, my friend, the rest of the year to be the best of your year? Jim Ryan used to do what's called a finishing kick. He was a runner. And oftentimes he would be behind everybody else. And then right at the last moment, he had this finishing kick. He would come from the back and win the race. And some of you, my friend, you've been like Jim Ryan, and you've been in the back. It's like this year has been like everybody else got ahead of you and everything is all messed up, it seems like. But guess what? When you come to this challenge, we're going to empower you like a Jim Ryan. You're going to have that finishing kick. And all of a sudden, you're going to come and pass everything, my friend. And so you do not want to miss your date with destiny. I'm going to be giving some practical principles, tips, techniques. And by the way, tips, TIPS. It stands for to ensure prompt success. I don't know about you. I don't just want to have success. I want to have prompt success. I'm not talking about a shortcut. I'm talking about a fast way. Come on, somebody. And so get this. So that's what's going to happen at this challenge. And as they said, it's not free. It's listen, my friend, it's available at no price to you because somebody else paid the price. Mr. Zell, his company, they have so much care and compassion that they put this thing together so you can get a chance, my friend, to be able to taste it for free, no cost to you, to be able to experience it. The fire of the community. The celebration, to be celebrated by other people who don't even know you. Folks, I'm telling you, whatever you got to do, skip your birthday if you have to, but get to the challenge and make it every single day.
Love it, love it, love it. Mr. Ezel, why don't you take the last minute and a half?
Gosh, it's so hard to always follow Dr. Breakthrough. Ali, we need to change the format because every time he speaks, I get a little more fired up. Here's the thing. The reason why we created the challenge is the gift for all of you.
Yes.
It's a gift for all of you.
Christmas.
Once upon a time, Jimmy Ezel was stuck in a corporate job that he hated. That he had another grown man telling another grown man that I couldn't spend time with my family. I wanted out. And so some of you saying, Jimmy, you don't know my story right now. Dr. saying, you don't know what I've been going through. Listen, how many of you have a big dream? How many of you have a big dream? Put it in the chat. All across the pages, all the groups, put in dream. Because here's the thing, you might be saying, Jimmy, you don't understand. I'm so scared that if I leave my job, that I won't have any bills. Listen, if you have a big dream, it doesn't matter. See, when you have a big dream, the facts don't matter. Jimmy, you don't understand that, my husband doesn't support my dreams. Listen, the facts don't matter when you have big dreams. Jimmy, you don't understand. I've been trying to do the home business thing. I've never had success. Doesn't matter when you have big dreams. Jimmy, I've never had anybody want to support me. Doesn't matter when you have big dreams. You got to have such big dreams that it doesn't matter what your facts are. Jimmy, you don't understand. I failed 3 times. That doesn't matter when you have big dreams. I'm telling you. I grew up in the south side of St. Joe, poor kid growing up, and some of you, my friends, are going to watch this. You know what I'm talking about. Benton High School, come on. I'm not supposed to be a CEO of a publicly traded company. It didn't matter because I had a big dream. Jimmy, you don't understand. Like I'm so scared. I have all these things that my thoughts are so. It doesn't matter when you have a big dream. You got to push through it. So this challenge, that's what it's going to do for some of you. I had those fears too. I'm sure Dr. Sanders had fears. I'm sure Ali's had those fears. You need something to give you hope, and the challenge will do that for you. And I'm not just saying it so you'll get on it. I'm just telling you what thousands and thousands of other people have told me. They say, Jimmy, I've been on a lot of challenges. This is like the best one ever, even better than some of the biggest names in the industry. Because here's why: they can relate to people that are doing it every single day. That's the difference. See, we don't just put you in the challenge. If you want to continue on, guess what? We have a plan for you, like these dailies. Tell me another place where you can go where people every day wake up to provide value, not to take your money, to provide value. That is our #1 mission statement, is to provide value. And so it doesn't matter what's happened in the past. If you've got big dreams, always remember this: the facts don't matter when you have big dreams. And the challenge will do that for you. So join us. Join us.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm expecting you to register right now because it doesn't cost you anything. I'm expecting you to put it in your calendar starting Monday, December 14th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the first session. We do day 0 the weekend before it. So we'll let you know once you register, but make sure you are registered. And I'm expecting you to give yourself permission to be great. And it starts with you registering today. With that, we love you and appreciate you. Dr. Breakthrough, I so appreciate you more than ever before. Mr. Izell, you rock, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate myself standing through the cold for 33 minutes and saying I could do it, and I sure did it. Let's go.
You the brother like no other.
Yes, sir. Register, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
We'll see you on the challenge.
See you guys.